Dear Black parents, the maths curriculum has changed. No longer will your child receive A star to G. They will now be awarded grade 1 to 9, grade 9 being the highest. There's been a lot of information published in the media. Schools have sent emails out to all parents, carers, guardians. So we should be aware of that, and we should no longer be asking our child about what grade have you been predicted. In terms of letters, it's now numbers. So I hope we're all aware of that, and if we weren't, I hope we are now. I have a few things that's just on my mind that I think we need to work together as a community if our children are going to succeed in the future. Dearest Black parents, your child should know their times table before they enter secondary school. If they don't, then you should be empowering them. We should be empowering them. We should be helping them to get those fundamental skills. Multiplication is one of the fundamental skills that our children need when at secondary school and beyond. Okay, in terms of multiplication, it would help them with fractions, with divisions. It would help them with ratio, with percentages. It would help them with further mathematics as such. Okay, it's fundamental that they know their times table. So please sit down with your children and help them. Dearest Black parents, okay, we need to tell our children to put down all their gadgets. We need to tell our children to put down their PlayStation, their Xboxes, their tablets and their mobile phones. We need them to be sitting down on a table and doing some work rather than be playing on all those gadgets, because they're not necessary. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a pen and paper. My dearest Black parents, there's nothing wrong with a pen and a paper. All right, let them sit down on a table and let them practice whatever they're doing using a pen and a paper. Okay, after all, I don't know how many exams that you've been into that you have a computer there or you have a mobile phone. You say, hey, you can find out, ask Google and then write down the answers. It doesn't work like that. Okay, when they enter into an exam room, all they have is an exam paper in front of them, and they have the equipment that they will need for that day. And it does not involve any of the electronic gadgets. Please, Black parents, okay, put them down, pen and paper on a table. Dearest Black parents, stop embellishing our children with materialistic gains. Okay, your child does not need them at all. So what if their friends have those equipment? We're trying to empower their mind. Once their mind is empowered, they can see things and they're able to achieve whatever they want. They can buy themselves whatever they need whenever they need it. But they cannot do that consciously if they're not. If they haven't developed their minds. Their minds must be developed. My opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Okay. Dearest Black parents, your child deserves the best education. All right? They deserve the best. It doesn't matter what school they go to. It doesn't matter what area they're from. They deserve the best education. If they're going to get the best education, you need to invest in them. Time, effort, and sometimes money. We need to invest in them. So you need to do that. It's not my job. I'm a teacher and I would help your child to achieve the best that they can. But I need you to make sure that they're putting that into practice at home. I need your help. Think about it. If you don't have the time for your child at home to study, why should I have the time? Why should anyone have the time? I mean, you can pay someone to tutor your child, but surely you should be asking your children what they are learning. Sit them down, ask them, what have you learned today? If they've done their homework, have they finished their homework? And if they have, ask them, what did you learn today? Explain it to me. think about this, right? The new curriculum says that a child must be able to contextualize whatever learning that they've done, meaning that whatever I'm teaching a child in school, it's not necessarily going to come in the same context in the exam. So when you're sitting down at home with your children, and they've done their homework, ask them to explain the question, ask them to explain their understanding. It's good that they know that 40 multiplied by 8. It's good for them to know that, but if they say, if I have 40 lots of 8 pounds per se, can they still put that into context? Yes, it's a vague example, but just think about that. Just work with me, okay? It's about looking at things and making sure that they can decompose it into different contexts, and still come out being able to explain and fully grasp the knowledge that they have learnt. Dearest Black people, our children are intelligent individuals, but you just need us to tap into it. If you don't ask a child to do their homework, they're not going to do it. You have the few who are very studious and they will get on with it, but they need our input. So I'm asking you, if we all work together, we can empower our nation, we can empower our children, and we can make sure that they are achieving the best that they can possibly get. It's not always that we're going to get Einsteins in our community, but when we do, we need to help it to grow. Our children don't need to be Einstein, but they need to know that they have achieved the best that they possibly can. They need to know that they've achieved the best that they possibly could when they leave the education system. Dearest Black parents, ask yourself, are you doing all you possibly can for your child? And if you're not, ask the questions, ask the teachers to explain to you, to tell you every information that is out there, every support that is out there for you and your child, to make sure that they grow to have the best education that they could possibly have got. Dearest Black parents, have a blessed Sunday. God bless you and take care.